Sup gamers, welcome back to more Pokemon Crystal. I'm Silver Orpheus. Last time we defeated Ecruteak City Gym Leader Morty. And we, well, just beat Morty. That's more or less it. Now, you might notice things might be a little bit, familiar for those of you who've been around in this channel since the beginning. Yes, I am more or less recording things with a tripod and my phone again. Oh god, this is basically how I'm recording the 3DS version of Crystal, as well as Heart Gold, Soul Silver. So bear with me on this, because at least I'm using my microphone for this, for the audio. I am recording this in post-commentary, so all we're really going to be doing is that we're going to be going back and dealing with, well, everything that we're pretty much going to be exploring everything that we can do with the Surf HM. First of which, we're gonna go ahead and look for a Pokemon that can, well, actually learn Surf. In this case, Wooper. In addition, I kind of also want to use this time while I'm hunting down this Wooper, because it takes me quite a bit to actually, you know, find one. I kind of want to go over some of the Pokemon that, well, reside in Union Cave now that we have access to Surf, because, man, we have a decent bit of them, but we're gonna go into that a tad later. I could, but I already have this video edited, and I am watching through it right now, technically. But hey, how's it going? I'm kind of watching my past self play this. So more or less, you're gonna want Surf for this because, well, everything we're gonna be doing today really just involves Surf. And that's more or less about it. I did forget to go over the Dark Cave, so I will say nothing to find much other than, like, items there. You will be needing, you will need Flash for that area. Surf is not really needed, just Flash. So, that's something to keep in mind. Anyway, into the Union Cave. After, you know, I kind of drop a coin. One thing that, yeah, is apparent here, I am playing as a female protagonist in this other Crystal file. And as you saw there, the Surf animation, whereas if I was a male, it would display a red Lapras, here it is a blue Lapras to signify the gender difference. Kind of interesting, though I kind of wish they kind of kept the blue Lapras that exists in pretty much, like, all versions of Crystal, instead of just going with the standard red that Gold and Silver has. Anyway, we're beating up this trainer here. He is a trainer of interest. Pokemaniac Andrew. He has a Marowak, and I think he has 2 of them as well. So, we're gonna go ahead and go over the new encounters here. First of which being Golbat. Everything I said about Zubat applies here with you know, its evolved form. The only hurdle is that it evolves through happiness. Best thing I can really suggest is to give this Pokemon the Soothe Bell, if you have it. Which, if you're playing Heart Gold, Soul Silver, yeah, that's where you're going to be getting it. And you're also going to want to walk around with it a lot in Goldenrod City until it reaches a level of happiness to evolve. Happiness in Vanilla Gen 2, it can be a little tricky, as the requirements for it are a little harsher. But, other than that, your reward is the second fastest Pokemon in the entire game, a great type that quad resists 2 different types, and a Pokemon with an excellent move pull. And next up is Quagsire. The evolved derpy fish Pokemon is here with us at last. If you want to catch it and use it, it's competently leveled with the rest of your team by this point, and its water ground type won't slow you down at all, especially since the areas going forward are going to have an overabundance of water types, so it'll be useful to bring even if you don't plan on using it. And Tentacool is an underrated Pokemon. Similar to Quillfish, it's a water poison type, a rather defensive one at that. Also, like Quillfish, it learns really good moves that will help it in either being a sweeper or great support set, with by itself outclasses the Pufferfish. This Pokemon mostly specializes in special stats and speed, being a really good special tank. Learns Barrier through level up, allowing it to become a strong tank in both defensive varieties. And then its evolution of Tentacruel can also be found here. Rare, but it's found at higher levels. Both it and Tentacool learn the same moves through level up, so you're not going to be penalized for whichever form that you decide that you're going to take. And that's more or less it. Just in time to see, you know, us fighting our second trainer of interest here in Union Cave, who has a Kangaskhan. This fight I really don't like. It's basically just us poisoning it, putting up Reflect, and then just hitting it with Razor Leaf. Oh man, I really should just go ahead and like fast forward this, because this is gonna be a slog to watch. So, I will just go ahead and talk about like where exactly I am when I am recording this. Well, as for where I'm recording, I am about to take on gym number 8. Yes, you heard me correctly. I said gym 8. I'm pretty far ahead by this point. Not as far as you might think, but I'm pretty ahead. And what's more is that by the end of today, which is also the day this video is going to be going up, that gym might already be complete. So it's gonna be a good. We're quite ahead compared to where this is. I've also put the game down for this particular file down for a little bit because I've been let's playing the game, so I've been playing enough of Crystal version as it is. And in addition to that, I'm playing the same game multiple times. I also have a Heart Gold Soul Silver file that I'm playing through. So that's not really. I'm kind of worn down on Gen 2, but not worn down enough to the point where I would actually, stop recording it. And okay, so I kind of got nothing more to go off of here. So what I can go off of is our 2 team members that we have on this file, Bayleaf and Growlithe. Bayleaf was my starter Pokemon that I ended up choosing. I chose Chikorita for this file. And as you can see here, it's actually pretty competent in terms of, actual playing ability. Reflect is really good in a generation where your opponents are mostly using physical attackers. So yeah, it's a good thing they gave it that at like the competent level of 8. But hey, it's more useful than a lot of people think it is. And well, Growlithe is, well, a super powerful mixed attacking fire type Pokemon that is just destructive in every way, shape, or form. Anyway, moving on through here in the Union Cave, we have more trainers, more items. And this guy right here is also a trainer of interest. Cold Trainer Nick has a Charmander. Charmander is an interesting one, to say the least. Of course, I sent out my Bayleaf against it. That's not really a great thing to deal with. As for how I want to deal with nicknaming this Pokemon, just because, we haven't exactly. I haven't revealed these Pokemon until now, and I don't even have a full team plan for this particular Crystal file yet, so it's gonna be a while before I actually have something planned for this particular team. Heart Gold Soul Silver team, on the other hand, I'm actually further behind in that file than I am from here, but I do have 2/3 of that team complete, and I have a general idea of what I want for the remaining third of it. So, yeah. It's going to be pretty interesting. So how I want to handle nicknaming for those Pokemon is that by the end of the game, I'm going to conduct a Twitter poll. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to ask in this poll a random number between 1 and 18, because you can only carry 6 times 3. Yeah, you get the drill. So 1 and 18, and whichever number you pick will determine the Pokemon that you. Wait, no, this is gonna be like between 1 and 12, because the main team kind of have exclusive privilege on this. This will be a mutual only ability. So If you were following me on Twitter, which if you were not, go on ahead and do that. That is at Orpheus Silver. You will be able to give your ideas to me for a nickname on the particular Pokemon. I will send that to you in DMs. So yeah, it'll be fun. Just know that I am decently picky when it comes down to nicknaming and all that jazz. Anyway, as you definitely saw, that guy had a Squirtle and a Bulbasaur as well. He had all three. He had the original trio. That's lovely. But yeah, more or less, give me a random number between 1 and 12 in the Twitter poll. I will give you, and then in DMs, I will give you the name of the Pokemon that you have selected. Be forewarned, this could be any Pokemon of any type, of any particular variety. Because when it comes down to these two particular files, there is no limit as to what I could potentially have on my team. I could have a really wally Pokemon. I could have mixed attackers, pure attackers with 0 defense whatsoever. It really depends. So if you want a nickname, a Pokemon, just give me the heads up. Follow me on Twitter, and then send me a Twitter DM. That is more or less it. That's all you really have to do here. Very simple, such as that. And as you can see, 1 and 2 are confirmed to be Bayleaf and Growlithe. So, if you want to nickname one of those two, you can go ahead and hop on to that right away, because, well, these Pokemon are more or less already revealed by this point. So the poll will start today, and it will end in about a month, because I don't see Pokemon Crystal lasting really any longer than a month, maybe a month and a half. And by then, I would already have both my team, like all 3 teams completed. So yeah, 1 month. So on November 5th, the poll will close, and whatever nicknames I have best selected are the ones to be chosen. Anybody can do this. I will not tell you if somebody has already chosen the name or not, but I will tell you if a name has already been selected. So be forewarned to hear a decline. I can't appeal to everyone, and I hope you aren't particularly upset with that decision, because I can be a little sensitive to that. Anyway, we have another cold trainer over here, and we're actually battling all the evolutions, including Eevee itself. So yeah, Eevee is a Pokemon that trainers will use. We've seen all the evolutions up to this point. We have yet to see Eevee in a battle itself, aside from Bastet, which is our Eevee in the main file. So it's a bit more of an interesting climb. And of course, Bayleaf here misses the Razor Leaf. I think myself, while recording this, was in a state where it's like, how did you miss the Razor Leaf? And what's more is that I think we missed twice against this one Vaporeon, which made the situation even worse because Razor Leaf barely does anything to Vaporeon, because it's a tank, a special tank at that. So it's just eating whatever Bayleaf throws at it. And Bayleaf's just taking the damage for it. Yep, there's our second miss, and that's where I'm just like, how are we missing so much? Like, it's a bit ridiculous, to say the least. Anyway, that's more or less it. Bayleaf grows to level 27. Growlithe is definitely higher level than Bayleaf is, and that's because of Morty in particular. When I was going through Morty, I had only these two, as opposed to the main file where I had the newly captured Bastet and CO2. Those two, they dominated over Morty. I was not, well, they didn't. It was more of a Fan the Norn thing, and then Realm came out with the rollout, because, like, I was just thinking during that episode, it's just, like, I was thinking to myself, it's like, huh, what if I just go with, you know what, Mud Slap sounds like an interesting strategy. It prevents Morty from getting as many Hypnosis Dream Eaters off as he otherwise would. But I kind of feel like being risky and going with the rollout strategy, because that could actually force Morty just to die if we're fast enough, which we were not fast enough to do that, but Morty went for Mean Look instead with the Gengar, instead of what he should have otherwise have done. See, I kind of looked down on him like an idiot in that regard. It was pretty stupid. Anyway, down here we got one more trainer that I kind of avoided just because. And you were the last one in this entire freaking cave. This is... All of them are cold trainers too. Emma has a Poliwhirl. So yeah, Poliwhirl is a trainer of interest by this point. Of course, as of like the point I'm recording this, Poliwhirl is a Pokemon that we have already seen in... Poliwhirl is a Pokemon that would have already been seen in spades. So it's not really very original in that regard, but it's a bit unique. We also landed a critical on it with Razor Leaf. That was great. That was wonderful. And that was it. Just a crit Razor Leaf. Now, what I wanted to come down here for involves Surf, obviously. In this pond, or this body of water here, is a particular Pokemon. It only appears here on Friday nights. However, as I was recording this, it was a Monday night. So, this takes me back to the title screen, because by inputting a certain code, which will be here in the edit sequence, you can enter a password. This password, as you are seeing on screen right now, involves your name, your trainer ID number, and your money. If you are not using a particular site, you will never know the password for your playthrough, because, or even for not even your playthrough, but for your like sequence as well, because it even takes caps locks into account. It's pretty ridiculous. So, yeah, for this Pokemon right here, you want it to be a Friday night. So, more or less anywhere between certain hours. And after going back there, because it will only spawn after going back. Like, if you save your game here, you're gonna have to go back to the opposite route, to the other room, and then come back here. Is to trigger it, because older games are weird like that. And we can talk to it, and we are introduced to Lapras. This is our first Ice-type Pokemon. It's one of the best, if not the absolute best Ice-type in the game. Learns Ice Beam through level up to level 16, which is great since until then I'm primarily attacking with Surf. Granted, you decide to raise it. It's also compatible with moves like Thunder and Dragon Breath through TMs later on. In Crystal, it learns Thunderbolt through Move Tutor. What's more is that this Pokemon is quite tanky and has ridiculous amounts of HP, with great defenses to back it up, and it being a mixed attacker makes it a worthy candidate for any move you can really give it. Now, if you're watching this video after watching the other one, after watching episode 16 forward, you will know that Lapras is, well, my 5th team member on the main file in the form of Plessie, the Lapras. Plessie being the name of an ally creature in Mario 3D World. So, as for who claimed the name Plessie, that would be me. So I got Lapras' nickname. I've gotten one Pokemon for my Let's Go series, and I am claiming another one for this series in the form of Plessie the Lapras. Now Lapras is not the only thing here. We can do something else. And once I actually get my my Repel back up, okay, that would be really nice. We can head back down there, head back to the main part of Union Cave. That is more or less plot mandatory. And upon surfing once more, head down that little area once I get stuck, because that's what everyone likes to do. Alright, so this little area over here in the Union Cave. Upon coming in here, I don't know what I'm doing here. It's kind of whatever. We got another trainer. And this guy has a visitor in this particular place. Yeah, I don't get why they're particularly saying that in an area with a little kid, but oh well. He has a Geodude. We're dealing with a sleeping Bayleaf. You can probably try and imagine what's gonna happen here. Yep, it blew itself up. Classic. I'm not sure if Bayleaf barely lives. Man. 1 HP. Jeez, someone's paranoid. And Machop comes out. I think I much rather would have wanted to deal with the Geodude. Because, that's at least an easy one-shot. Oh, Growlithe's down. That's a problem. And we're just left with a sleeping Bayleaf. Ooh, that's horrible. A part of me just absolutely forgot exactly what I recorded, because I recorded this very late at night after work. And I was very delirious at the time, so, and because I wasn't focused on live commentary at that point, I'm just in a mental state where I'm just like, I'm dying for some sleep. I don't really know what the hell is going on here, but I'm up against a Machop, and I gotta do something about that fast. We gotta knock it out. So, in comes the Razor Leaf. That is game over. Or maybe. No, it's a 2-hit. Now, we barely hang in. There's the Razor Leaf. I took a bit of a gambit on that one, because if we didn't have speed, or if we missed the Razor Leaf, the Machop would knock us out, and that would be that would be the end. We'd be warped back to the Pokemon Center, and we would have to go back and heal. That wasn't fun. No, wouldn't have. So moving on. Hopefully I didn't decide to record this other guy too, or decide not to cut him out. I think I might have shown him off. Oh no, we just dodged him. Ruins of Alph, we are back here, and this guy we have to fight. And with this guy, I know you're a trainer of interest. You have a Girafarig. Which is a very weird Pokemon. But we got some new encounters only found here in the Ruins of Alph, so we kind of have to go over them. And those Pokemon would be Natu. This is clearly a special sweeper, and the first psychic type we've encountered other than maybe Unknown, Abra, and Drowsy. Natu, while functioning as a special sweeper, is good, I guess, but it's easily outclassed by the Abra family. And being part flying type doesn't really help it at all. We've already come across better psychic types as of this point, so really, I gotta say this is a pass. And the only other new Pokemon here is Smeargle. You might be looking at this Pokemon's stats right now and already dismissing it as bad, and you'd be, well, right to think that. However, Smeargle learns one particular move. Its only move. Its signature move, Sketch. What this does is that it allows Smeargle to learn the move that was previously used, meaning this Pokemon can learn literally any move in the game. Yes! Like, Smeargle is the only Pokemon in the game that can learn Sacred Fire. Other than, maybe, Ho-Oh. I don't recommend this Pokemon for single player unless you just want to run things like Fake Out and Spore, and if you like running something particularly, well, unique. Because, Smeargle, it won't let you down on that. The only problem with Smeargle is its piss poor stats outside of its speed, and, that's more or less it. However, if you want to run those moves like Fake Out and Spore, Smeargle is a monster in competitive. Not really great anymore, but, in Heart Gold Soul Silver competitive, it was a monster. You could get some viability there. Just thought I'd let you know that. But yeah, Smeargle is not really known for its competitive use today, more than it is used for its prowess back in the past. So that's really all I can say about Smeargle. And that more or less rules everything that I wanted to cover today, minus the Dark Cave. which we already pretty much went over. Just a bunch of items. Next time on Pokemon Crystal, we're gonna be heading east. Or you know what? We might be headed west of Ecruteak. I don't know. If you're already caught up with the channel, you definitely already know by this point, but in case of an event that you don't, there's your header. Anyway, see you guys then.